Right now, it's Tuesday, and that means a little self-help, a little introspection. We always like to talk to Dr. John Braccio, Regional Psychological Services, East Lansing, and drjohnb.com on the web. Do you try to, let's say, micromanage others, specifically a spouse? Well, or do you feel like you're trying to be micromanaged? Boy, there's some tension there. You'll lose sleep. Doc Braccio. Hey, Doc, it's good to have you with us here this morning, as always. Good morning.
Well, good morning to you, Mike. And I will say this, having to deal with a micromanager in any environment can be very frustrating. This is particularly true with a spouse or long-term partner. Micromanagers are often insecure, want to control all events, and have really a goal of perfectionism that only they can determine what it will be. And they're often not perfect, I might add. The end result is a micromanaged person who is also insecure, questions their own decision-making, is very frustrated, angry, and loses their autonomy. As an individual, micromanaging spouses or partners are, sometimes well-intentioned, but their behaviors and attitudes can be exasperating at the worst, can end up causing a divorce, really end things. Now, typical examples of the partner micromanaging would be the areas of finances, clothing, social life, phone calls, and messages, all social media interaction, where to put things, how to do things, and even determining what are acceptable feelings, thoughts, and views of life. Obviously, this can be overwhelmingly negative. For the average person, this is at least exasperating, and at worst can lead to really great anger. The anger and frustration can be so extreme that obviously this can end the relationship. Now, if you find yourself in a relationship with a micromanager, there are things you can do, and these are some suggestions you can do if you really want to have any hope of saving this relationship or having your own sanity. Set up clear boundaries of what are acceptable and really what are not in terms of what you're going to put up with. Divide up responsibilities and really implement them in a way that the micromanager knows the limits of the behaviors that are acceptable and that things are clearly spelled out, on timelines or what you're going to do. This is obviously easier said than done. The boundaries must be very specific and clear, okay? You have to recognize your spouse may have OCD, okay? A little obsessive-compulsive behaviors and feels the need to control things. Okay? This becomes a problem that they have to overcome. And then try to understand the basis. Why is the person this way? Why do they want to control everything? And it could be they come from an environment where in the past they've been either a caretaker or they've just made decisions for others. And if this is the case, well, they need to know that things are changing, okay? And this is really not going to be acceptable. And then I think another thing to do is really figure, why did you fall in love with this person? Why did you set up this long-term relationship or marriage? Or what's happened? What's going on here, okay? And you may thought the person would change and you now realize you were wrong. Well, another thing to do is you can seek out a therapist's experience with working with micromanaging partners and to work with both of you. And also, you could even get your own therapist, each of you, to try to work on this, because this can be really overwhelming, and you often really do need really help. And be aware that micromanagers are the product of long-term behaviors and attitudes, Mike. They don't change quickly. That's just not how it works. And so I think what you have to do is really recognize that these are long-term events, situations, whatever, that have caused the micromanager to be the way they are. And, I'm a positive guy, Mike. But be aware, it's exceptionally difficult for micromanagers to change their long-term behaviors and attitudes. So I'm upbeat, I'm positive on what you can do, but if you're with a micromanager, it can really wear you out, everybody out, even around them, and have to deal with them. So you do have to set up some of the suggestions I've made here, set up parameters, implement them, don't back off, and really work on being able to have a sane, reasonable, equal type of a relationship. Very hard to do with the micromanager. Oh, boy, they're tough to deal with.
In your line of work, Doc, in your years, have you come across, is it easier? That's the wrong word there, but I'm saying couples therapy Married couple coming in together versus them going to two separate therapists. Best results come from what? Here's what I'm saying. It seems to me if a couple comes in there, they're just going to sit and point fingers at each other. And then the therapist got to come in and go like, well, wait a minute now. And then he's like the referee and gives them exercises to do. Let's just say they can start looking inside themselves and looking at each other. I mean, at themselves. Then you might as well just do that separately. Which is easier?
Go ahead.
No, I just wonder, what's easier?
Well, I don't know easier. I have found in situations like this that often having couples therapy and also each having individual therapy can work very well, because each person has to figure why they even got involved with each other. Okay, one obviously is to try to control the other. Okay, the other often didn't buy into this and thought things would really change, or the person pretended they weren't this way. So couples therapy and individual therapy can help. Obviously, the person who is the micromanager, and it might have OCD or for whatever it is, they clearly are going to be needing to make some real major changes if they want this relationship to continue, unless they just want a mouse. And even the mouse every now and then roars up and gets mad. Okay, so I think that couples therapy can work, but also you could also have individual therapists working at the same time that you have couples therapy. Ultimately, the question is, does the micromanager, will they change? Can they change? Obviously, anybody can change if they want to, but they really are very hard to deal with. People that are used to running things definitely have trouble being a team player. And if you're with one, I've seen many relationships end, sadly, over this micromanaging. Even if the person really claims and in their own mind they do love the person, they really have these needs to control everything. Even how you're going to fold clothes, what time you're going to take the trash out, what time they know best. And obviously it can be overwhelming, and the person finally will just say, I've just had it. If they have the strength, sometimes people stay in these things and they're really kind of miserable. So the main thing to do is for everybody to try to be working together to solve this thing. But clearly micromanagers are hard to change, but if they realize that they run the risk of losing the relationship and they really love and care for the person, then yes, I have seen them change when their boundaries, when they're spelled out, when they can identify. But it's and I'm an optimist. I'm just saying, but these are definitely hard people to change because they love to run things and control things and think they're right. So they know the truth. How does that sound? The holy grail of behavior for you, by the way, not necessarily for them.
I let me just say this, because to OCD people listen right now, I'm in your wheelhouse. I get you. But I'm not severe, but I have to have the spoons sit in a certain way in the silverware drawer. The pot holders have to all match. The towels in the linen closet all have to sit the same way. And I go through almost daily and rearrange stuff to the point where I think they do it. The rest of the family does it the other way just to see me go nuts. But anyway.
But you're not right. But you must be fairly easy to live with, Mike. They just let you do these things, right?
I think they get a kick out of it. I think they're laughing at me behind my back, Doc. I think I'm the clown. No, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, I'm in their wheelhouse. I understand it, and it's more than just I want to control everything. I literally, I know you'd have a field day in my brain. I've dealt with this my whole life, and I just live with it, right? Or I'll go for a walk or something to I don't have to look at the towels. Because there's a feeling there, deep, I can't even describe it. It just feels like the world is off kilter.
Well, Mike, that's right. Now get off the couch now and just decide you're going to try to be a little more patient. But here's the thing, though. If people don't mind it, if they feel it's kind of funny and you're not, in a way, demeaning them, and you're willing to take care of it, then good for you. If everybody is happy and sees it as kind of humorous, then I would say good, but there are people that aren't like that. When you match them together, then that can lead to a lot of turmoil. But no, you sound like somebody who is willing to do the walk, you're willing to do it, and people really don't mind. How does that sound? You may have a good combination there with the kids, and then your father-in-law's there too. Maybe everybody just says, there goes Mike again.
Exactly. That's what it is. There goes Mike. Isn't he goofy? Yeah, I know. Doc Braccio, we are way up on time. Thank you so much. I'm a circus boy. You get in there. Regional Psychological Services, Dr. John B. on the web, Doc, next week. All right?
Good talking to you, buddy. Bye-bye.
Take care. See ya. 1320 WILS. Oh, yeah, it's a piece of work. 1320 WILS. This is your morning wake up.